as commissioners, as council members, as department heads, and as even employees in Adams County. And Lord, the second request for you to hear this morning is simply, we ask for divine intervention for world peace. We're on the verge of having some major issues. Without divine intervention, Lord, we're on a path of self-destruction. So we ask, Lord, that you guide and direct our military leaders, our president, into the kind of decisions that will bring at least peace. And we ask for your divine intervention in this process. Amen.
Amen. You guys received the minutes from the March 3rd meeting. Any questions or comments on those?
There were a couple of changes I made. Doug found one or two things that I
Okay.
changed.
So those have been corrected.
And I read them this morning. I see no problem, Stan. I'll make a motion to accept it
I'll
unless you have
second.
something.
Motion by Doug, seconded by Stan. The minutes are approved. Go ahead, Tony.
Okay. All right, let me just take them one at a time here. First of all, I emailed you, all of you, the monthly clerk's report submitted by Shelley Bright. And
I make a motion to enter that in the record.
Second.
Motion passes. Clerk's report's entered into the record.
Okay. And next we have the Northwind prescription claim. Those are in the amount of $14,712.22. Claim is for verified. 14,712.22.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Stan, seconded by Doug. Northwind's approved.
I'll pass those down for you to look at. I think all of them are scanned. Okay, you should have also received the payroll time card approval for the appointed department heads.
I covered those. I saw no problem. Unless Stan or Steve has something, I move that we accept the payroll time card for approval.
I'll second that.
Motion by Doug, seconded by Stan. Payroll time cards are approved.
Okay, next we have payroll claims. This would have been for the payroll date of February 27th in the amount of $393,248.58, $393,248.58.
A lot cheaper when we only have 28 days.
Yeah, have less weeks.
Make a motion to approve payroll claims.
Say, I'll second Stan's motion,
Motion by
Steve.
Stan, seconded by Doug. Payroll claims are approved.
And then I also have the payroll AP claims, all the benefits and so forth. And the amount on that is $367,385.61, $367,385.61.
Move we accept the payroll AP claims.
Second.
Motion by Doug, seconded by Stan. Payroll AP claims are approved.
Quite a bit today. Next, we have the Eastern Alliance Workers' Comp claim. That is in the amount of $3,464.18, $34.64.18.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Stan, seconded by Doug. Work comp claims.
All right, and we knew sooner or later our credit was gonna run out
Oh, don't tell me.
on the Allied Weekly Health Insurance claims. Once they deducted the credit from last time, which is $6,400 approximately, that left the health insurance claims for this week, $93,926.42.
Yikes.
So they hit us with it after a few weeks of credit. $93,926.42.
And that's no longer a credit, huh?
No
Yeah,
longer
I'm
a
trying to
credit.
think how much credit we had last week. Not that.
Not much. It was down.
There's 6,400
Yeah.
left.
Motion to approve.
Second Stan's motion, Steve.
Motion by Stan, seconded by Doug. The health insurance claims are approved.
Okay. We have the Cason Group, which is for the employee navigator. And this, there's actually two month payments on this for the total of $373.
Say again that amount, Tony.
$373.
And what was it again,
The
Tony?
employee navigator, Shannon, can you explain the employee navigator to Doug?
It's our, benefits enrollment website. So where employees enroll in their benefits that get sent to the insurance companies, it's the website. They charge us per employee per month that's active in the system. So it's usually about 180, 185.
So it's not unusual what we're approving here. I mean, how
It just
how often
began.
does this come up?
It just started.
It just started in
Oh.
January, but it's once a month. But I've held on to the January one because they had some kinks that I wanted them to work out, so I didn't pay it intentionally.
Okay,
I
okay,
wanted
well,
them to fix it.
I thought it kind of sounded foreign to
Yeah,
me,
it
but
is new.
Are the employees using it pretty well?
They've only had to use it one time, which was last year during open enrollment. But yes, we got through it.
Okay.
Tony, how's Cason's spelled?
CASON.
Motion to approve that.
I'll second Stan's motion.
Motion by Stan, seconded by Doug.
Okay.
Oh.
Next,
Can we back up a minute? I'm looking at the Allied Weekly Health Insurance
Okay.
Claim. And I notice there's quite a bit of prescription on there. How are those, help me understand again, we've got Northwind and we approve their prescription charges, and then we have Allied and it just approved their prescription charges. What's the difference there?
So I talked to Glenda about it yesterday, and my understanding is that the 73,000 and change that you guys are seeing is actually from service dates 12/6 to 12/31.
So those are prior to Northwind taking over
Yeah.
the prescription benefit.
Yes, it's like the
Yes.
catch-up period that
Gotcha.
happens each year.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
okay. Final thing, I have a Cincinnati Insurance Company claim. And long story short, there was a screw up at their end. So we had to call Doug Nelson, have him come in. And they had sent some wrong thing. It got all messed up. Glenda tried to work on it. We had to call Doug. I can't explain it other than they screwed something up. And the amount that we had paid previously.
So they made a billing error.
They made a billing error.
There we go.
That sounds
And
bad.
now we get to pay them more money because of their billing error.
Because of their billing error, we owe them $4,587 to the Cincinnati Insurance Company.
And our insurance folks say that this is the value.
Doug
says-
actually came into the office.
Okay.
So that he could look at everything that we had and help us figure it out.
Good deal.
So.
I move it, we make right on the error that was done.
Yeah, did they catch it? Did Doug catch it or did?
No, Glenda caught it. Well, Glenda and I guess, both kind of caught it,
Yeah, I'll second that motion.
Okay, that motion
but
passes.
Glenda had to spend more time on the phone with him. Might have been the first time I ever actually saw her angry.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let's not do that again.
Oh, well, they were at the receiving end, not me, so that was okay.
Deal.
Okay, let me make sure. I believe that is all. Looking through it. Yep, that's all that I have.
Very good. Nate, what have you got for us?
Couple of items and some updates that certainly will be of interest to everyone in the community here. We'll get to those here in a moment though. First things first is Bridge 27, that's our Pickle Road over the Turkey Ditch project. That's DES number 4000096. NDOT has issued to the commissioners for our approval or your approval, the NDOT construction and construction inspection reimbursement contract. The contract covers the terms of that reimbursement and their authorities and ours. Again, with that, the program is to use DocuSign for that. So Steve is the authorized agent for that. So before he can proceed with executing that agreement, we need to as the commissioners, you need to authorize him to proceed with that contract. And I emailed that out earlier, so you have a copy. I have one here if you'd like to see it. Something of note is PennDOT actually increased, they rolled some federal funds over from one phase into the construction, so they slightly increased the construction phase dollars from what they had originally. So there's $1,018,400 in federal funds towards construction and $124,000 towards the construction inspection reimbursement.
I don't see any reason why we shouldn't, approve this request, Stan.
Yeah, I make a motion that we allow our chairman.
Second.
To sign that.
Motion by Stan, seconded by Doug. We'll get that signed after the meeting.
Perfect, that'll move that one forward. All the documents are actually in now, so they're not doing the final reviews. That project lets during the July letting of this year. So it's possible that that'll move towards construction either fall of this year or spring of next year would be the windows for that job. That said, Bridge 96, that was the one I mentioned during council about the award. I have an early coordination meeting with NDOT. They scheduled that for tomorrow. We've already solicited for consultants. That's out right now. So those are due in April. But I'm just going to meet with NDOT, double check any of the terms and conditions of that award. So it's just part of their kickoff process. So I'll want to meet with them tomorrow. Then lastly, this is kind of a big thing. I got an email from Megan Wilson over at EMA kind of outlining some schedules of NDOT or state construction projects on the state roads. So there's a couple of them there with detours and routes that are going to impact the community for this year. And so in order of those, I've given maps to the media as well. First project of concern for us is going to be US 27 over the Gorham Run. They're going to be doing some rehab work at deck overlay, I believe, of the bridge there immediately south of Walmart, but north of the 33 intersection. So the road will be reduced down to 2 lanes during that overlay process. The word I heard was that it's probably about 30 days of lane disruption. So everybody's going to get shifted to one side of the bridge and they're going to work on the other side to shift everybody to the other side.
So this is 27 north of where 33 enters it, south of Decatur.
Yep, so north of 33, south of the Walmart, Winchester Road intersection, so where the sheriff's office is. So that area there is going to have lane restrictions for about a month, starting on March 31st. So this month. The next one that's going to be probably the biggest one for everybody, biggest one for Decatur, is going to be a full closure of the St. Mary's River Bridge on US 224. So Monroe Street and right next to the Riverside Center. So Riverside Center, that street is going to be closed through traffic. What you see on the map that I've given you here is the official NDOT detour. So that is the commercial detour route. Truck traffic and the like are to use that route. I'm going to say with confidence that is not where everybody's going to be following. The local traffic is going to find other routes and they're encouraged to do that. There's unofficial detours that are part of that. But the commercial traffic that's running through Decatur is to use the commercial detour route. That's what it's there for. And the reason it goes out as far as it is NDOT detours to NDOT routes. They want the traffic on their roads because that was on their NDOT routes. If they're using other local traffic, they can beat up local roads or county roads in the process. And some of the facilities aren't set for that. That project is scheduled to start April 27th.
And that means the sheriff will have some additional business to it.
More of the city. This will significantly impact the city. So if we see traffic and other issues with it, understand it's not our project, but certainly there's really not much that can be done. We're gonna have similar situations if and when we're able to rehab the Jackson Street Bridge, but I'm imagining we're gonna have a lot of traffic on that Jackson Street Bridge in the interim.
Yeah.
Because
Is East Jackson already posted no trucks or?
I believe those routes are already posted, no trucks, but if you're a commercial truck and you're not following the posted detour, you're already in violation, as I understand it. So they are eligible to be ticketed at that point.
So what's the estimated time frame on closure?
I do not have the time frame on the closures here with me. So that wasn't something that I had. I can certainly get that and try to find out what the time frame is, but with it starting in April 27th, if I understand it right, it's a rigid deck overlay. It's probably gonna be 60 to 90 days. But I can find out what that closure time frame is and let you know. But it's certainly going to affect all your summer programs and activities. With it, it'll affect, I don't imagine it'll be open before school's out for the summer. Oh, there's our tornado drill. for
Yeah.
the day.
Oh, yeah,
That's
10:15.
why- Part of the reason Megan wasn't here to talk about this herself was she already had the tornado test.
Sure.
Test today.
So that's totally, an NDOT bridge. It's nothing, it's not city, it's not. I'm
Not
on a
city,
federal
not
highway.
county. We're notified as interested parties because it disrupts the traffic, but
Okay,
certainly this will be a topic of conversation at the city council meeting,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
Next one is US 27. So the section of State Road, of US 27 between State Road 218 and 124, so Burnham and Monroe. There's listed a 7-day closure starting in early May. That's gonna be a mill and overlay project. Now, it's listed as a 7-day closure. I don't know if it'll be a rolling closure with the actual overlay work or not. I'm not sure about the progress of that. That's something that we can ask Brooks to give some information about that.
Are they just
So,
gonna chip and seal the highway again?
I doubt that. So based with this, so.
now wait,
Brooks doesn't-
they're talking about closing 27 from Byrne to Monroe?
So there'll be a 7-day closure and it'll be possibly a rolling closure. It may be only during construction where they're staging as far as 1-lane closure. But it wasn't clear exactly how they were going to try to facilitate their traffic in that.
Other than local, very
Triple
local.
zero sounds like we'll get a lot of traffic.
There's-
Yeah,
there's-
will definitely be.
I'd imagine that 000 will be very busy in the process. So certainly during the disruptions, I want to express our intent or our hope is that people understand that the projects are necessary. I think anybody that's been on 27 in those areas realize that there's work that needs to be done. Take your time, leave early during rush hours, realize that you're probably not going to be home at the same time you always were. But if you go on these side roads at a high rate of speed, best case scenario is that you get picked up by a sheriff's deputy, get a ticket. Worst case scenario is you cause an accident, and we don't want to see that. Lastly on here then is US 27 between 100 South up to 400 North, so that kind of closes the circuit. They're gonna go all the way up to that 33
Monroe on up to
intersection. And
Oakwood.
there's gonna be paving beginning in June then, and they'll have single lane closures during that work, so they'll be slowly working their way through those different lanes.
Yeah,
So lane disruptions likely all summer long in different areas, whether Decatur all the way down to Burnham and Monroe. So it's gonna hit the main corridors, so there's gonna be traffic wanting to use side roads. Understand, please be mindful of it. Realize you're probably gonna see more traffic on some of these side roads, and we understand that that's gonna be disruptive. We're working within our projects to make sure that we're not compounding the problem by closing a
Well, you
local
gotta
major
remember
road.
that, there's probably gonna be similar closures and single lanes in Wells County.
Yep.
And so that could have another effect on between Highway 1 and 27, you know, that.
Yep. No, it's, it'll be a disruption for everybody.
Yeah.
I think we'll be happy once the project's done, but this summer is gonna be a busy summer for us. A lot of work being done and, then nothing seems to happen forever, so.
Yeah.
But-
So now, just quick, Sheriff, since you're right here, you're too convenient not to ask this question. Okay, an example on 000, when we're down from Monroe to Byrne on 27. And you got a grain truck leaving Lehman Feed Mill heading for Bungie. You know, it's gonna be on 000. I mean,
We'll have increased enforcement there on that, especially if they started.
but I hate that, I mean, Lehman's, I mean, how they gonna get to Bungie if they can't use 27?
They'll go 000 to 124, 124 to 27 and up.
Right, right, no
They'll-
big
they'll
deal,
get there.
huh?
But it's just, the problem is the condensed traffic. 000 is busy as it is already with buggies and stuff.
Right.
And then to add that much more automobile to it.
Right, gonna be,
It's gonna
ooh,
be, it won't be pretty.
it'd be a challenge.
But
000
like I said,
is not a no truck route, is it?
000?
Yeah.
No, it's a truck route. But hopefully the cars and stuff will start using 100 East, 200 West, find other roads other than just 000.
Right.
And when they see the volume of traffic on there, it's gonna get backed up when you hit 124. Hopefully they'll start seeing other roads to use too, which will spread up the traffic out.
And it'll be congested.
They'll be congested, turning movements, people getting onto and off of 000. It's just, if people are determined to drive at a high rate of speed in some of this, you're gonna have your closing distances and the like. It's just gonna be, it's a risk, so please, for the public, be mindful of that you're gonna have more traffic out there during these construction.
A lot of Amish travel those too.
Yeah, and so the Amish haven't been out much because of the cold weather, but we're starting to see the buggies out more often as they're driving around. So certainly you're gonna have more of the buggies coming out here shortly. Realize that even your time, you may not see a buggy because they're behind the vehicle you're following ahead of you. And so that can cause other issues for everybody. So again, just kind of an FYI for everyone.
Thanks, Nate.
Well, there's one other factor that we gotta remember on this whole business is school bus traffic will have to alter their routes too, as long as school's in session.
Yeah.
School, there's gonna be some school impacts in the short term until they get off for the summer break. And then
Right.
hopefully this is all done before
Right.
school starts back up for
Right.
20,
Major one,
late
yeah.
26.
Yeah, when I
When
saw that.
NDOT does this, do they contact the schools?
Yeah,
Gotta-
the school
gotta get them
superintendents and traffic have been included on some of this notifications as well, so.
Right. Come on up, Brad and Paul. Good morning. If it's not on, turn it on, would you please? It's just a button on
I've
top.
got to remember when we're done, to plug it back in and charge it too.
I try to do that. I remember it as great as it used to be, and it's never been great.
Good morning. The first thing I thought we would talk about today is we opened the oil bids last week and went through them. Everything looked fine. So today, and as we normally do, we like to accept both of those, both companies, because one actually was lower on the chipping oil and one was lower on the dust control. So,
You need a motion on that?
yes.
So moved.
I'll second it.
Okay.
The other thing kind of to go along with that, Paul sat down and figured out this year. So the dust control this year is gonna be $2.60 a foot. Last year it was $2.96 a foot. So it actually has come down 36 cents this
Really?
year. Yes.
Oh,
Our oil prices come down.
Until you get your next oil order.
Nah, well, they're locked in now.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
eventually,
Next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, hopefully things are settled by
Yeah.
then.
So $2.60 a foot, and we are taking applications now until May 15th.
And on a normal year, how many miles or how many different projects do you get?
It varies, but you have 20 something.
That's 20, I think we had 26 or 27 different.
Mostly
locations.
stretches of what, 100 yards, 200 yards or something?
Yeah, most of them, we have a few in the county that go almost a quarter of a mile on a couple of different ones, but all the neighbors pitch in together, so.
Right.
You say 262?
$2.60, 60, yep,
296 last year.
correct. Then just kind of moving right along, so, the first week, Buggy Plate Sales sold 120 plates, which isn't bad. And now when we get busy, we could do that many in a day possibly, so, but that's not for a while, so.
Good deal.
The next thing I'd like to ask is be able to pursue, bids on another, bush hog or batwing style mower that we mow the side ditches. We've been getting new one here the last couple years. If we do one this year and next year, and then that gets them all new again in the rotation, so that freshen them up. So
Would this be a side?
no, it's a
Single?
15-foot batwing. It's
The
a full width
trifold.
Oh, trifold, okay.
Yep.
Yep.
So I'd like permission to pursue bids on getting a new one of those
Yeah,
this
I
year.
assume you got budgeted for that.
Yes.
I moved it,
You got, tractors okay, big enough to handle?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Tractors are in good
Tractor's
shape,
gonna be good for quite a few more years yet, so.
okay.
Motion passes.
All right, the last thing I have, we will not be here next week. Next week is road
Road
school.
school.
Yep. And I believe, I don't think Nate told you that, did he? But I believe Nate's gonna be down there same time, so he won't be here either. So just letting you know.
Meetings will be nice and quick.
It'll be a short meeting.
I won't be here either, but it won't be a road school, so.
So anyhow, that's all we have, so
Very good.
thank you.
Questions for guys?
I'm good.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Here.
Don't see Rick out there. Cambria? Welcome.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Okay, you can come on up.
Thanks for coming in.
No problem. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
You too.
There you go.
If you would introduce yourself, please, and obviously, we know Trey, but introduce yourself and
I'm
then the floor
Cambria
is yours.
Sparks. I'm with the Indiana Department of Veterans Affairs. I'm a district service officer.
Okay.
So I cover the Central East District of Indiana. So I
How
have
many counties?
18.
18?
18 counties. huh?
18.
Wow. You have to put up with 18 Troys or
More than
Trays?
that.
18
Because
Trays?
Some have two,
Jeez.
some have three, so.
More than 18 Trays.
Yeah.
Wow.
Probably involves a lot of travel too, and
Yeah.
different meetings and stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, pretty much I'm here to go over the service officer accreditation standards, which is, it's in response to Senate Bill 433,
Right.
which is now Indiana Code 10-17-1-9.
Okay.
Just mandatory standards that all the county veteran service officers have to abide by now.
Okay, now, real quick question before I forget. Okay, your replacement, you replaced,
I replaced Cam Lochner.
okay, and how many counties did he have when he was in?
Prior to him leaving, we had 6 districts. So we each had either 14 or 15 counties. But with him leaving, we restructured the state to make it 5
5
districts now.
districts,
Yeah.
okay.
So I took
Six.
over pretty much his lower east half.
Okay,
And then we have Mark Gurley, who took over the whole northern part of the district.
okay. And before you took this position, were you still with Veterans Affairs?
Yeah, I was still the Central East District Service Officer,
I see.
but I
Okay.
only had 14 counties.
Okay.
And like my furthest north county was Tipton County.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. If you guys have any questions, just stop me and ask me.
Okay,
Pretty much these standards just set clear required rules for veteran service officers here in Indiana that are assisting veterans and their family members apply for benefits.
good.
So this applies to all the county and city veteran service officers. And they have to be accredited with the IDVA to be able to do this job. If someone's not accredited, they can sit in the position, but they can't do the job.
Okay.
Service officers, they have to be employed by the county now, not appointed.
Okay.
So they actually have to be employed. They have to work a minimum of 1,000 hours a week, which equals out to, I want to say 20 hours a week. So as long as they're meeting that 20 hours a week, then they're going to be good. They're going to be in full compliance. Their office hours, address, and all their information has to be posted on their office door, the county website, and the state website. And if there's any changes, they have 5 business days to get those changes in. The office must be a private dedicated space to speak with veterans. They're discussing health information, bank account information.
Right.
That you don't want other people hearing.
Right. We updated our
Yeah,
office.
Trey actually moved offices to give them more confidentiality, more
Privacy.
Right,
privacy
yeah.
recently, I think.
So he's fully in compliance with that.
Good.
Oh, good.
They have to have technology, so they have to have proper internet. They have to have a capable computer
Mhm.
for the claims management system, a phone, a PIV card reader, things like that. The claims management system, it's called VetraSpec. That's what we use to do all the paperwork to help veterans file their claims and everything like that. So the service officers have to use that properly. They have to use all the functions, which the communication and the general contact log is 2 of the big things that they have to use now that wasn't required before. Just it's any interaction with the veteran gets put in the system. So for example, let's say a veteran comes over and sees Trey, then goes over to another county. If Trey's putting the notes in there, hey, this is what this veteran needs, that other county can see it.
Now,
We-
quick question.
Mhm.
Okay, if a veteran from past experience have seen the VSO in Wells County
Mhm.
and there's disability money for that veteran, when the report comes through, does Adams County, does it reflect Adams County total benefits received for veterans? Or does it stay in Wells County?
It goes to the county that the veteran lives in.
So it would come back to Adams?
Yeah.
Okay, even though they may be seeing the VSO in J or Wells,
Correct.
or vice versa?
As far as I know, that's how it is. I will double check that
Okay.
and get back to you guys and give you the correct answer.
Well, you can, through
But-
Trey, you can,
Yeah.
yeah.
But as far as I know, it goes to the county that the veteran's listed as living in.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, but we do get some veterans that are county hoppers. They don't like what one
Yeah, I
VSO
get-
has to say.
understood.
They go
Yeah.
to another county,
All
so,
right,
so we transfer files back and forth all the
Okay.
time, so. The county veteran service officers must maintain a PIV card, which is a personal identity verification card. That's what allows them to access the VA system. So we have our state system and then we have the VA's federal system. So with Trey having a PIV card, he can get in and see all the claims that the veterans had prior. And whether it was denied or approved. That way he can help with appeals if needed to. So he can see everything that's been filed in the
and
VA system.
confidentiality is
Yeah.
of course a mandate.
Right, yeah. Yeah, to obtain this PIV card, they have to go through a federal background check, fingerprints, everything like that, so.
Okay,
All right. Let's see. For training, we have 2 district trainings. We have one in the spring and one in the fall, and then we have an annual training that the state puts on. So the CDSOs have to attend and pass all the tests that are required with those. If for whatever reason Trey can't make it to my district training, he can make it up with one of the other 4 districts. But annual training has to be attended unless there's an emergency. Previously, the annual training was only 2 days. This year it's 4. So it's 4 full days.
What Trey was just telling us, it's 4
Yeah.
days this year.
well, I'm encouraged. I mean, we need our VSAs thoroughly trained,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's gonna help the veterans.
right?
They have to complete all the assigned modules and test also. So previously, they had to attend trip training, which was online through the VA. Once they did that, they were good with it.
Okay.
Now, because of this new code, we have to do it annually. Like every service officer in the state of Indiana has to complete it annually. The initial service officer training, if for whatever reason Trey decides to leave or retire, the new service officer will have 30 days to complete their orientation with the IDVA. And then they'll have 90 days to complete all the training and tests. Reporting requirements, again, I said the communication tab in Vetrospect, the general contact log, those are the 2 things that have to be completed now. That wasn't. So any contact that Trey has with a veteran or a family member or a senator's representative needs to be logged in Vetrospect now. The CVSOs have to meet all key performance indicators with the state. So PIV card use, maintaining their PIV card, that's one of the big ones. Using the Vetrospect system, that's going to be another one. The IDVA can pull these reports at any time to verify that the CVSOs are actually doing their job and doing what they're supposed to be doing. If there's an issue with one of the CVSOs not meeting standards, then the IDVA will send out a notice to you guys and to the officer. And the officer has 30 days to fix that. Well, to come up with a fixed plan. And then 60 days total to correct it. If it's not corrected, then it goes to the commission for a hearing possible revocation of the accreditation. If a hearing is needed, it'll be a formal hearing. And the date, location, and rights will be sent out to you guys and Trey. The officer,
Do you monitor compliance and non-compliance, or do we?
we do.
So if there's an issue of non-compliance, do you contact the commissioners?
Yeah, if there's a problem with the non-compliance, then a letter will be sent out
Gotcha.
saying that your service officer is not in compliance. If it does go to a hearing, the officer can present evidence and arguments on their behalf. The commission will review everything and make a decision by majority vote. And once they vote, it's final.
So that decision, those hearings and that decision are made outside of our employment?
Yeah, it'll be the IDBA commission.
Gotcha.
If the officer doesn't show up to the hearing will proceed and discipline can still be imposed. If the accreditation is revoked, then the officer immediately loses all rights to help veterans with the claim system and loses all access to the claim systems. So if whatever reason a CVSO loses their accreditation, they can still sit in the position. But they can't talk to veterans, they can't help veterans, they can't assist veterans or their family members. So they can't do their job too much. That is all I have. Do you have any questions of me?
Okay, so, someone comes into Trey and starts the process, whether it be disability or services or whatever. Does the veteran have a choice if they want to go to Fort Wayne VA or Marion VA? Or,
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. So for example, I live in Connorsville, Indiana. So I'm about an hour and a half away from Indy, Dayton, and Cincinnati. So I can choose any of those.
okay. Well, I can verify that the services in Fort Wayne are excellent.
I don't know about Fort Wayne. That's
Okay,
not one of
well,
my
I can
hospitals
verify
that
they
I've
are,
ever
at least
attended.
my experience has been excellent in Fort Wayne.
Right. Yeah, Dayton's been excellent for me.
And I think also a huge plus that Trey has and you have
Mhm.
is we have a United States Senator that is very VA oriented,
Yes, that's correct.
Senator Banks.
Yes. That's
And
right.
if there's a major complaint and it gets to his office, I can almost assure you there's gonna be action.
So if any constituents do, like call the congressmen, senators, whatnot, and file a complaint, their representatives send it down to the IDBA. And then the IDBA sends it out to the district that it belongs to, so that district service officer. And we are the ones that are supposed to go in and take care of the issue if we can. And then we report back up whether the issue has been resolved or it hasn't been resolved and needs further assistance.
Well, I have no
Good.
further questions, but
Good.
I
No,
sincerely
good.
appreciate your coming in and covering this stuff that we would probably overlook.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, and especially for me, because I sit on the board with two other veterans and I myself am not a veteran. So-
Right.
So I appreciate their input and your input.
So with this new code, the district service officers are required to meet with each county's commissioners twice a year. Once before June and then again once after June.
Yeah. So you won't be new to us next
No.
time.
All right.
You'll be seeing me often.
That's great.
Good
Well,
deal. I
you know,
appreciate that.
it really gives me I mean, she makes my day because veterans deserve every service that they can get.
Agreed.
Because it's just, the experience can be traumatic but it, obviously you can probably tell I'm 100% behind. But I sincerely appreciate you coming in.
Well, I appreciate you guys
Same
taking the
here.
time to hear me out.
Very good.
If there's ever anything I can do for you, just let Trey know and
Okay,
he can
here's
get
a
a hold of
card.
me. And
Trey, anything that you want to add to that, or
Thing was all good. Yeah, by the standards set by the IDBA,
we're good to
we're
go?
up the code.
Okay.
Unless something changes in the future, obviously, we get pretty good communication back and forth between the VSOs and the IDBA, so, yeah.
And Trey did a good job of keeping us up to date as this legislation was kind of moving through and letting us know what it consisted of and how we would measure up if the legislation passed. So, you did a good job of keeping us up to date on kind of how things were changing and.
yeah, with this code, I mean, if the CDSOs are doing what they're supposed to be doing in the first place, it's not gonna affect them at all.
Right.
Right,
But those that are not doing the right thing,
Sure.
Yeah.
not doing the job properly,
put the meat on it, yeah,
then
Yeah.
this is where this is gonna come in effect and
Right.
really affect those people.
right.
So,
Rightfully so.
yeah,
right.
yeah,
Very
rightfully
good.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good,
Very good.
yeah, I was fearful that the districts might, I knew there were gonna be a revamping.
Mhm.
I was fearful that it might be 25 counties or
Oh, no.
something.
I hope not.
Yeah.
I hope that never happens.
Right.
I'm busy enough.
You're right.
Good, I bet you are.
Okay, hey, if you, next time you come in or send Trey some cards and he
Yep.
can bring them to us. if you-
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay,
Actually,
Thanks.
I'll get them from my car today and bring them into him and.
Okay.
okay,
Good
good.
deal.
Okay,
Thanks,
here's,
Gabrielle.
here's my,
Thank
well,
you.
I'm sorry about
You're
that,
fine.
you gotta pick it up.
Thank you very much.
2022. Okay. The end of 2022. Okay, go.
Sheriff, you're on.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sheriff. We gonna talk boilers?
We are.
All right.
First thing, the bids came in, we only had one bid. It was from Hattersley. It has the non-collusion affidavit, the Indiana legal employment declaration. It has everything that is required, meets the request, and I recommend that we accept this.
And what's the price?
Oh,
What's
yeah,
the quote?
you might want to know that.
Yes, we would like that.
Yes, the price is $159,175.
And that's to replace both of
Correct, both,
them and correct the problem.
correct. And it's a lot, and the boiler has, it's a 5-year
Longer
warranty
than 10 years.
on
yeah.
the boilers that are gonna be replacing it. And I only know of one other company that picked up a packet, but they never returned it.
I make a motion to approve that.
I'll second the motion, and, did they give you any kind of a time frame when this work would be done?
Today they'll be called, order the parts and get it going. They didn't think it'd be that long. They thought the turnaround of the boiler would be less than 30 days. There is a little work that needs to be done. The pad that the boiler sits on for the footprint, they will take one out. Well, they might be able, they have to add concrete in on the pad. And they have to have that cured, and then they plan on taking one out, putting a new one in, getting that up and running, taking the other one out, put the new one in, get it up and running, and then they'll train us on them.
So is that pad work included in the bid, or is
Yes, it
that
is.
something beyond?
Yes, it is.
Included?
I put it in the bid.
So nobody will be taking cold showers.
No, I hope not, because if we lose hot water completely, then we'll be shipping people out.
Yeah.
So-
I hear ya. We
So,
don't want that.
once I get a time frame on it, I'll let you guys know too, of when they think they're gonna be able to start the actual replacement. Then also you heard on my other, issue with the roof already in the first meeting. I have no problem doing that, so we will, get this roof situation fixed and we'll do it out of the normal maintenance. And then if we need something later, we'll deal with that at the later time.
Okay.
So no issues there. Lastly, same thing, this is a different meeting. I wanted the minutes for the gratitude letter reference, Shannon. This is from Chris Calloway, who's from Baird, who is our point of contact through the Indiana Sheriff's Association for a 457B program that, the managing part, Co-America got out of it, and Hoya is now our agency handling this, so I'd like to put this into the record. Sheriff Mayward, I want to take a moment to recognize the exceptional work Shannon Green has done throughout your county's 457 migration progress. Shannon has been productive, attentive, and consistent on top of every detail. She has kept communication flowing, responded quickly, and ensured all submissions and requirements were completed accurately and on time. Her diligence has made complex transitions significantly smoother for everyone involved. It's clear she takes great pride in her work and in supporting her team. I truly appreciate her partnership during this project. I just want to ensure that her efforts were highlighted, and she has been outstanding. Please let me know if there's anything else more that we can assist as we continue moving forward. Best regards, Chris Calloway from Baird. So, like I said, he's brought her name up in some of our meetings. I sit on the committee for ISA on the retirement program. We still have counties that haven't done anything.
Yeah.
And their people, their employees are suffering. Our auditor's office has done a great job. He speaks very highly of them, with Shannon too, but, my people haven't noticed any transition change. I
Great.
mean, it's been smooth. It's like I said, working with the auditor's office to get all the direct deposits done and changed over. It's been a very good process for this county, a lot better than a lot of other counties.
Yeah.
I just want to highlight her attitude towards that.
Well,
Shannon, thank you.
Yeah, and for
Thanks for
some
your
reason,
work.
what he just read doesn't surprise me a bit. Thank you.
Thanks, Tony.
That's all I have. Do you
I'll
have
pass
anything
it
for
on to
me?
Glenda. I'll pass it on to
Yeah,
Glenda.
yeah,
Please.
Tony, Linda, yeah.
We had talked recently about improvements in the security area at our courts. And we talked, I believe, permission to hire some security officers. Can you give us an update on that?
Yes, we have chosen 3 confinement officers that are employed by us to move over to, court security.
Okay.
They're actually, 2 of them are today up in Fort Wayne getting uniforms fitted. We have to do a little bit more training, before they can start. They have DT training, but they do not have handgun retention. They'll be carrying a firearm. So there's firearms training and qualification has to be done. There's DT recertification has to be done with firearms. There's our court security carries a different taser than what our confinement officers carry. So we have some training to get done before you'll see them there. But we know who they are. The wands are in. I've purchased some tables and some chairs. We're gonna start testing that stuff out to see if we need more of that. So once we get their uniforms in and get them certified, they will make the switch, and we've hired jailers to replace them already
Wow.
also. So
Good deal.
we've been busy the last 2.5 weeks for sure.
I bet.
I would like, I'll give you guys, I need to talk to Rick, but is Rick not gonna be here today?
I don't
think he's
know.
around the
I
building.
wanna talk to Rick, especially with Superior Court, that bookcase that's there in the entryway. I wanna know if he would look into seeing about if we can pull that out and tap into electricity coming from the hallway and create a little bit more space for them without
Officers.
for the searching stuff, even without having, if we get equipment into there.
Right.
And once that's pulled out, we could do a space study to see if the equipment will fit with the space that will generate.
Okay.
But I think it could generate quite a bit of space.
Okay.
What's even in the bookcase? Anything?
Books that aren't used anymore, because the judges, all the legal research is all done online now. Some of those books, I'm sure, are 20 years old. It filled the book space. I mean, it filled the bookcase for aesthetics, basically.
Yeah.
They're not used.
Okay.
That's what I'm hoping.
Good.
If we can get something and Rick can bring something to you about cost and what that would be. I know we don't want to invest a lot of money in that building.
I know, but
understand
that's, we want to be safe.
You're gonna notice the difference now. I've done this and I'm paying for it, but the windows on the front of those doors, they're being a tint applied, a mirror tint. That way, as you're walking in, you can't see in, but my security officer can see who's walking in.
Okay.
So that's happening.
Okay.
I've already got that in the works.
Good.
And the court is aware of that. Talked to Clayton a little bit to find out, he's gonna do some research. Right now, the judges have orders as far as weapons not being allowed in the building, not recording.
Mhm.
My question is, do we need to leave those or get updated orders for that? Or do we need to move towards like ordinances from you guys to do that? He's gonna do some research on that and get with you guys to see what we need. But if we do, I want all that in place before we start doing this, obviously, because if they refuse to be searched, what's the consequences? They just
Sure.
don't gain entry, or is there a violation, or is it something I take them in front of the judge? If he makes an order, then the judge could hold them in contempt, which would be a jailable offense, where an ordinance would be a civil offense, a fine basically only.
Okay.
So I'm trying to figure out what we need. So Clayton's gonna start researching that a little bit.
Did you say that both judges have issued orders already?
They're standing orders now. That's where it prohibits people from carrying weapons in. So I don't know if we just need to expand that to the searching and things.
Just expanding it to search, and
Okay.
I don't know off the top of my head, so I told Sheriff I'd research it, and it's
Sure.
either, maybe it's either or a conjunction of both, but I'll come back to you guys as soon as I can get that done.
And I'm gonna research, and I'm gonna speak to the judges too, because I know like Judge Kukulon has its circuit, Judge Connor has that, but let's say Judge Kukulon's not in the building. And someone who is coming in causes problems or has something, cause a fit, can Judge Conrad rule on Judge Kukulon's order? I need to find that out, and that's where we might need a combination of both.
So do we have anything that precludes individuals from bringing weapons into any of our buildings?
Courthouses.
Just the courthouses? Okay.
And there's no state statute that covers that. They've left my understanding, the legislature has left it up to the local authority,
To the court.
to the courts or to commissioners to make those rulings. So we got that working.
But we are good for the courthouses.
Right now we are because of the court orders, the judge's orders. And lastly,
Can I,
Yes.
before you get on the last thing, one, not only with Rick on the bookcase, make sure the judge is fully aware of what your intent is.
correct.
Okay, and my second question is, refer back to the 3 new officers that are being trained. Once they're totally trained, certified, et cetera, if you were to choose to use them as a patrol officer on the road, would that be possible?
No,
No.
they are special deputies and their power and authority is limited only to the courthouse grounds.
Okay,
Once they step off that sidewalk, they have no police authority.
okay,
Because they're special deputies, and special deputies, for whatever reason, the wisdom of the training board for ILEA, they don't recognize special deputies as law enforcement officers, and I can't give them the same training that I give a police officer. They don't allow it, which I don't understand it. They won't allow them to do a pre-basic class.
so would they be on about the same level as one of your sheriff's reserves?
Yes, because we basically give them the same training, but they're not certified that way. They get their power through me through statute. And so whatever I tell them that their training has to be and what their powers are, now I could give them the power to do that, to be on road, but I'm not. Because they don't have the training, they don't have the driving training, they don't have a lot of the extra training that police officers have. A reserve is identified as a police officer and can go through a pre-basic and stuff like that, but a special deputy is not.
I see.
So they are strictly locked into the courthouses for their power and authority.
Okay, thank you.
One thing we're talking about that I've observed in other counties, if and when we start doing the metal detector, or we don't have to because we're gonna be searched, is county employees, if they have a lanyard ID, they won't be subject to
Bypass
that.
that.
But if they don't, if they forget it, then they're gonna be searched. And I'm asking you to make that part of this deal to where county will issue our people photo IDs that they can be wearing. And we can even make it to where those IDs are their fobs that open doors. So they have to have it to come to work. But I would ask you guys to consider doing that. That will save time for employees coming into work. They won't have to go through the hassle because they all show up at the same time. So our employees at the courthouse will develop a line themselves. And with our time system, if they're cutting it close,
Yeah, we
they
don't
can
want
be
that.
late. So I want you guys really consider making that a policy that we will provide them with an identification, and if they don't have that, then they're gonna be subject to search.
I 100% agree, and I guess I'd like to, if we do that, consider expanding that to every single employee. Because we have a lot of employees who are out in the field that need to identify themselves to landowners, homeowners. And Nate and I were talking about that the other day when our GIS employees, or Brad and Paul, or somebody steps onto private property and need to identify themselves. You know, if we have that lanyard or whatever, you know, all our employees need to be able to identify themselves as county employees. You know, in that situation, or as they're interacting with residents.
So, but again, I would keep all that in
I would.
set up
I would-
before we start doing that, so we don't have
I
problems.
concur with Stan, but we may want to limit the full-time employees versus part-time.
Yeah, could be. I mean, like the surveyors guys, the GIS guys, the highway guy, anybody that is stepping on the private property, you know, if they're ever questioned, you know, the assessors.
Yep. Cause we do get phone calls on that sometimes
You'd
with
have to
people
go through
out doing
rules on
stuff
that.
and we verify and let them know, yes,
Thing.
he's a
Yeah.
legitimate employee of the county, so.
Shannon, would you get involved in that, employee ID cards and somehow integrating that maybe even into the fob system? Okay,
Does that mean we'll have to, I mean, everybody, it's gonna be a photo ID, right?
I would
I
recommend
would
that,
think
yes,
so,
because
yeah.
an ID card without a photo, in my book, doesn't mean nothing.
Yeah.
And even talking to Judge Conrad, Allen County gives him a card for when he does judgeships,
Right.
judge work up there. He has a card for Allen County, I think, that,
That's what I was gonna say, is it gets into an evolving discussion also related to courthouses, cause like in Allen County, one, as an attorney, obviously not an employee of Allen County, but as an attorney, I have to have a card myself. It's not a fob, but it's an ID card. And if I don't have that card on me, they will not allow me to bring my cell phone into the building. I still walk through the metal detectors, have to do that, but that allows me, because I mean, attorneys, you're sitting in front of the judge in the courtroom and he says, everybody pull out their calendars. Well, our calendars are on our phones now. But so that could also be a discussion at some
yeah,
point.
and we're not at that point because you come through the checkpoint, your bag searched, you have a phone, whatever like that. But when you go into a courtroom, bags are still not gonna be allowed in court. We still have those lockers at both courts. Your phones aren't allowed in the courtroom. So that's not good, but some people need to go to the clerk's office. They might need their phone. They need to go to 4D. They might need their, so we're not ready to ban phones coming in, but they're still banned from the courtrooms themselves. But we have lockers and stuff already in place to deal with that with the people. But Allen County have 2,000 people. They can't have that many lockers, and so they just don't allow it. And I'm not necessarily saying I don't want to ban phones from our courthouses and stuff. But we will still ban them from the courtrooms like we already do now. And people are used to it, that our lockers are used constantly all the time. So not necessarily, but the IDs, I would like to, then as far as attorneys and stuff, we can work something out with that at a later date if we need to. But our county employees, I really want to.
When do you think your staff will be training will be complete?
I will say 1st of May, 100% for sure, but it could be before that, so it could give us time to.
So we
work on
have,
some stuff.
so we have until 1st of May to get this
You're talking
ID
about
card
the
thing
three-
figured
the
out.
three guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that gives us adequate time to get stuff going, and if we have to do this in phases, I'm okay with that, but eventually I would like to work to what we've discussed.
Me too.
Please send me an email on all that too, just so I get it properly tasked.
Sounds good.
Now, the three people that you just hired, they are full-time employees, right?
Already now, they were confinement officers, they worked in the jail.
Oh, they already were,
I
okay.
took from within,
Oh,
because they already have a lot of the training already. They just have to add a little bit more. And they're looking at it as stepping stones, to become officers and stuff like that, so.
Good, good deal.
And we were blessed that we were able to replace them. Like I said, when I was on vacation, the staff was extremely busy and I think they had 9 to 10 interviews set up, and doing it. We had, from in-house, we had, a lot more interest from out-of-house applications than I ever would have imagined.
Wow.
But when they didn't get court security, they became jailers.
Good,
So
good deal.
that's how it filled up pretty quickly. So
Yeah.
it worked out very well.
Very good.
all right, thanks, Sheriff.
Good,
Oh,
Anything
you
else?
got more yet, don't you?
Nope. No,
I
that's,
see.
that's covered all that stuff. So
good deal.
we're good to go. I'll keep you updated on the boiler and the roof.
Okay.
Thank
I
you.
think you guys did ask after Deputy Buer was here last week about warranty. Or somebody asked about warranty on
Roof
that.
warranty?
There is satisfactory warranty. It's a 5-year limited warranty, and that's on top of a 1-year parts, and then actually 1 year that Hattersley provides a 1-year workmanship warranty.
And here's a copy of their warranty if you'd like to see it.
Good
But
deal.
it's a 5-year warranty on it. Yep.
Very good.
So all's moving along.
Okay. Thanks, Sheriff.
And as Mr. Wynn just said, he should, where is that? You can't tell us, Mr. Wynn, but you guys used to issue ID
I was
cards.
gonna say, we had at one
We
point
just
done
need
that.
to,
Yeah,
Did happen. That's my key fob.
okay.
is this from the jail for your, or was this from the
This is
county?
from this, I get.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know you guys did this in the
Back
past,
when
so.
Dave Meyer was here.
That was Meyer.
That opens doors.
It's been a while.
No, this does not open doors.
That's why you can't see me anymore.
Yeah, I mean, but so I think it's a great idea to bring that.
Whatever
back,
program that
100%.
was, it's, you have to reinvent the wheel.
Good
Yeah.
deal.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Very good.
You don't leave that, I'll talk to you after.
Okay. Rick, come on up. We jumped ahead.
You missed a little bit of it. Just touch base with Shannon on the, we're considering a picture tag for all employees, full-time employees.
Photo
Shannon's
ID
not
on a
there.
lanyard and potentially have it be their key fob.
Well, I mean, we've talked about that before, but if you remember back, we had some elected officials that we were putting pictures on, they weren't gonna do that.
I do
Remember
recall that
that?
now.
And I got away from that. But I think it's a good idea. I mean, but that's.
Well, here's probably the bottom line. If you have a photo ID on your lanyard, you'll be able to bypass security check. But if they refuse to put a photo on their ID, they're probably gonna go through security check every morning.
Or, you know, it's nothing new if they have a driver's license.
But you recall that, Doug?
I do,
Briefly?
I do, now that you mention it.
Anyway, that's why that didn't keep going.
The other thing you're gonna hear about, Sheriff wants to talk to you about removing the bookshelf over in Superior Court, right?
Yeah.
Superior Court
yeah.
building, so that we can make some more space available in there for the security, equipment team.
Right
What-
inside
what
the
else-
door, evidently.
What else have you got for us? You have a restroom update by any chance?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Okay.
Shelley's back there, she's.
I've been waiting.
Well,
Shelley, use the restroom here before you go back to your office.
I think we've kind of talked about it and I kind of showed you the plumbing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we know we have a major issue.
I think short term, this is what I believe that we should do. Gotta get it located, as we talked about. I'm pretty sure it's a 6-inch tile.
Okay.
I'm not keen on the fact of sleeving it,
Okay,
just because I don't know how brittle and that cast iron is and how much reduction is that gonna be.
Okay.
I do believe we need to get a clean out for
Okay.
short term. So we can have better access to doing it.
okay,
As I stated before, it's always full of TP.
okay,
And I think long term, I think we need to bore it. Whatever, we just need to run a new line.
so,
I will find out though.
so how quickly can we get the restroom back in service? At least,
It's open right now.
okay,
The signs are still up. Is it gonna take an afternoon? Is it gonna take a day? Is it gonna be?
are you in tilt plugs again, you mean?
Yes.
Okay, so as it's open, I guess I would like to see us get that clean out in immediately.
Yeah.
So you kind of know where you're at, get it located and get your clean out in.
I think I mentioned last week, I was with Vern. Well, Vern is yet to come. I'm sure he's short-staffed or whatever he's got
Okay.
because they were working on emergency on a well.
Okay.
So he hasn't been here yet. But the bathroom, I flushed it last Thursday. I flushed them all this morning. They're working right now.
Okay.
Like I said, how long? Don't know.
Right.
Next thing you know, it'll be the water on the floor and stuff, but.
Okay.
Well, Shelley, what your concern was early voting coming up?
Yes. There's gonna be more of it, paid, people using it, well, they are public restrooms. So, with poll workers that'll be sitting there all day, voters that come in, and of course, the public themselves, they actually do use those restrooms downstairs. I was just very leery of what we had at that time, was only the men's was working, could cause some issues, which it had, to be the only functioning public restroom in our building.
So
That's what I had.
So it sounds to me like Rick's on top of it. And if he cleans it out with the plumber that he's got waiting on, do that. If it continues to work, then perhaps we put a hold on the boring until after at least the primaries over. Does that sound something reasonable?
As long as there's still enough for even the staff to use, I know, Rick, it's hard to try to guess, but with these other, available, say, toilets in the building, they were going down by one because of the line. So this makes it very difficult, and then, the majority of people that work in the building are women. And so it does have a very difficult for everybody to try to juggle on how to do that. The men's is just kind of causing a little bit more of an issue of having to be the only one using.
I think Rick's doing everything he can possibly do right now, so that's.
But I just want to make sure it's a public awareness that these restrooms are causing us some difficulty in the courthouse. So that everybody's involved. And also, if we could have a little more communication and updates on as they come in, so we can convey to everybody what's going on, because I feel like I've been in the dark. Pretty much.
Well, I think we've done that. Shannon, you sent one out, and I hadn't had any updates till then.
Right.
Here's the thing though with that. When we remodeled those bathrooms, I guess when Mike Stimson was here, Doug, you remember that? Those bathrooms were down and they were being utilized just like what's going on now.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't use them because it was all tore down. But anyway,
Yeah, all
nevertheless,
we can do is our best.
That's all you can
And,
do.
and that's all you can do. And if it's an inconvenience for people in the building or the public, it's the way it is. It's just, Rick's addressing it. We're concerned as commissioners.
We are, but if Vern is not being responsive, we may need to find somebody else.
We gotta,
I'll
okay.
call Shane Ball if I have to.
There you
Well,
go.
there you go. Whatever.
Well, one of the things that I know Vern does when, he's got one of those things where he can go in and hone the inside of the pipe. And I think with this problem, as with any old cast iron pipe, once you get a snag, then it starts catching more and more and more
Yeah.
stuff.
I don't
So,
wanna do that.
if you can go in there and hone those pipes, then at least we would have less opportunity for clogs. But where does he go in with the snake and the scope? Does he have to pull a toilet to do that?
We pull a toilet over in the women's. But remember those pictures I showed you last week?
Yeah.
We get to the point, the jetter will go around the 90, but the camera won't.
Well, I guess what I'm wondering is where are you gonna put the clean out? You're gonna put that in the.
What I wanna do is, I'm gonna have to go over in the men's, and it may be, I told him, I said, I can't have both of these down. I wanna go over in the men's, we'll have to pull a stool. And I wanna try to locate where that line's going out, and maybe we can run it back somewhere along the line, it's gotta all tie in.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is, let's say if we get a big crowd at election time and it plugs up, we need to be just as responsive as we can. So if we can get a clean out in there before then to where you can say, Vern, we got a problem, boom, he comes down with the snake, cleans it out. Okay, so it's a temporary fix, but at least it's a fix.
Right.
And we don't have restrooms down for 12 days.
That's what I was saying, short time. Here's the problem, GSI doesn't even know where it comes out of the building.
Yeah.
Well,
I gotta get it located.
Yeah, you can get their, whatever their
But if-
sniffer thing or whatever, but
Yeah.
they're,
But I
you
guess
can get it located. that
what
way.
I'm saying is, the employees, not only in the clerk's office, but prosecutor's office, feel like it's a pretty urgent problem when they just have one. So if we can respond to that better, if we had a couple extra cleanouts, maybe we need to get those cleanouts in sooner than later. So we can get, if we have a problem, bam, get the jetter in there, get it taken care of.
Yeah.
We just kind of need to up our game, I think, a little bit.
I'd have it dug today if I knew where it was.
Yeah.
Get somebody in there to.
Somebody
Yeah.
with a, transmitter
I
and
get it.
locator.
Well, Rick, you're doing the best you can. We understand that.
I came up, Steve, because you said about early voting and jogged my memory on something else I'd like to discuss with you guys. Last year we started doing during courthouse early voting, our prisoner transport, we're bringing them in from the basement through the boiler room to the elevator and up to court. So we're not walking through that main hall with all the voters and stuff in there. And it worked out very well. The problem with is that I have to have one of the court security guys go down and unlock it and get him in and out of the building. We did that. I'm wondering if, I'm tasking you with a lot and I hate to do this, but if you could check to see about that exterior door of the boiler room, I could kick it half, 50% and probably pop it open. It's an old wood door. About replacing that with a steel door and maybe fobbing that door and then fobbing the door in the hallway that goes into the boiler room. That way my jailers with a fob, they can, I don't need court security people to come in to open doors for us, because right now they have the keys for it and stuff like that. So I'm wondering if that would be an option for that. And then we might make that full-time with our prisoners, so we're not going up the steps or anything and bringing them through the hallway. We are bringing them in the basement forevermore. I think we can get that
It's
door
not a
secured.
bad option, but we just got an estimate to replace this door and fob it. What was it, like 10 grand or something?
Not even,
12 grand maybe?
something like that. And those doors, he's right, those doors are better than those.
And I don't disagree, that's something that should be done, but just be prepared.
I understand, but like I said, if he could at least explore it, see what that door would cost, and see. And if
Especially
we
if you're
can't
gonna
fob
do it
it,
all the time.
if we can't fob, at least we'll key it to where, but I just don't like having hard keys to a courthouse now. But, if that's what it has to be, then we'll get keys to my transport officers, and so I think it's a good idea to do.
We got money in Cume Court probably, don't we?
I don't know, and I don't know if we can do it out of Cume Jail or the courthouse, I can, but I just think if it's something we can work towards, and that way we're getting the prisoner out of that main hallway.
Well, Rick,
with
why don't you get an
citizens.
estimate on that? I don't have a
Okay.
problem getting an
And like I said, if
estimate.
fobbing could be an expense because of running power laid out to it, I'll take a key. I mean, we can keep keys in our jail transport van, so we know if you go to the courthouse, this is the key that you need to take
Get a
with you.
price both ways.
Okay, very good.
You dogged my memory when you said something about early voting, so that's why I came back up, so.
Actually, you got more money in Cume Jail, we'll just use your money.
I don't know if we can on the courthouse, though. Don't
No,
get me in
that-
trouble. I've been 7.5 years not in trouble. Don't get you in trouble now.
Yeah, but there is money in Cume Court.
Yeah, I'll move.
Okay. What else have you got for us,
Thanks,
Frank?
Sheriff, appreciate that.
The, spent some time ago, just the connectivity to the generator out here that we got.
Mhm.
We got that up and live now.
Okay.
So that's working.
So you can operate it and monitor it from your phone? and-
Yeah. Well,
Good.
not to the phone yet, but
Oh,
it's on the computers.
remote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's nice. The highway department did get the fuel tank for the old generator.
Good.
That is now gone.
Okay.
That's good. The other generator just got serviced yesterday too at the courthouse.
Did you tell them that it's all in one? If they take the fuel tank, they have to take the generator too?
Yeah, I've been working on them, but, yeah. It's been, Yolanda's had a couple of doctor's appointments, so I've been the Lone Ranger. So that's what's going on here too.
Any response to your new position?
Well, we've interviewed a couple people, maybe a couple more, so that's where that is. That's been going on too.
What are you doing in your spare time?
Probably traveling from home to here thinking, well, this is my list
I'm gonna
today.
take some days off myself. Anyway.
Well, you
Okay.
get this, you get a person on that where,
Yeah,
get a little training, maybe you can use up some of your,
trying to build a backup in there for you.
got plenty of time. He's got more time than he'll probably ever use up.
So what I'm gonna do then, I'm gonna go over there, and I'm gonna open that up.
Okay.
See what
And,
happens.
and I think I think Stan's right. I think we get on that clean out
Yeah.
soon. Very good.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Rick. Mark, step forward, young man.
You're not used to sitting still for 15, 20 minutes at a time. Are you?
A few once in a while.
Even if it's hard.
Okay.
So I don't know if you have any questions on this. We had obviously 23 permits given out, only 3 less than a year ago. We're still up 7 for the year. The large amount that came in for Fleming Excavating, they are doing a commercial project out of their offices or buildings.
So mobile homes, is that up on Pickway?
We actually just put a whole bunch of new ones at the far north.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
So Pickwa is
Nice ones, not old used ones?
brand new.
Wow.
I think I tagged 6 or 7 of them to get electric hooked up.
Matter of fact, speaking of mobile
And they have the
homes,
guardrail.
speaking of mobile homes, do we have don't, we probably have something in place if someone wants to move an older mobile home into Adams County? We've got a restriction on how old it can be, don't we?
We do. That was in place before I even got here, but
Right.
10 years old was what went back. Now there have been times since I've been here that there's been some exceptions given, because I think way back when that was put in place, that was kind of trying to corral the ones that are all steel and very, very old with the tongue still hooked on it and all that. Nowadays, even the 10-year-old one is vinyl sided, vinyl windowed, shingled. So you can actually maintain them and make them look new again. So we have had people that brought some of those in front of, I think, BZA to get a variance. But that does it still exists, and it still has to be something these.
But the
these
process is still there.
It's still there.
That's
You can't-
good.
You cannot just bring in a 30-year-old one and.
That's good.
slap it in place.
That's good.
Very good. Need a motion to accept that report into the record, guys?
I move that we accept the February report. Mark presented to us, matter record.
Okay. Second. Motion by Doug, seconded by Stan. Reports accept.
That's a small one.
There was a variance granted for this subdivision, because of this distance right
Johnny
here.
again.
Yes. And, 100 south, 300 east, this one big yellow piece here is getting broke
How
down.
many acres is this big yellow piece?
That is a good question. Not written on here.
99.28, would that be right? No, that's 99.28.
What is that? It's all pencil. Hell.
Yeah, I know, it's hard to read these.
Jeez.
It's significant acreage.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I think, I'm trying to say, it's just a 40 or an 80.
How many total lots? 5,
lot 3
This
is
is bigger than
99,
40.
lot 2 is.
This isn't part of it, right? Is that a wooded, that's not part
That's
of
not
it.
part of it. No, just this yellow.
This could well be
There's a
60
lot
acres.
here.
That could well be 60 acres.
Oh, hell. I don't know where we're looking at.
Yeah, I know.
Right here's what it is. See that?
Lot
1, 2, and 3.
Lot 3, Bill says, is 99.23 acres. So we've got whatever this is here, this is
But isn't
another.
there a for sale sign on that property?
I don't know.
I went by.
Fast.
Toward Manly's, I thought I saw a for sale sign on there. Right up in here.
Sure about that.
Which would, if it is for sale, is this gonna affect? Or maybe they're trying to get this done before the sale.
That would be unusual, but that'd be great.
Well, I'm sure JD was one of the benefactors of that property, and now his daughter is probably a benefactor to do something.
So we do have 5 feet off of this building, which is.
Okay, so show me what they wanna do with this portion right here. That's what you're here for, right?
Well, they're just dividing it in 3 lots. What they're doing with it, I don't have. a
I know,
clue.
okay, show me the 3 lots.
So one is here, so that's on this bottom corner, which involves some buildings.
Includes the buildings and
And then
down.
you got lot 2 that's beside it, which is this lot right here. So you got lot 1, lot 2. And
Then everything
the
else is
remainder is 3.
Lot 3.
So, just a question on the side, and I have no problem approving this, okay? Okay, since they're dividing here and here, and this big one, if someone wants to divide this big one later on, is that possible?
Yes, but it would be a major subdivision, which the major automatically makes you take it out of ag zone and you have to zone it R1, R2.
So it would be
commercial.
difficult.
Not difficult, but you gotta go through a process.
Well, it'd have
Wouldn't they have to have public utilities, right?
public sewer.
Public sewer.
Not if the lots are big enough.
So what could they do?
I thought when you went to major subdivision, it
What,
required public sewer.
if that went to a major subdivision down the pike somewhere, the big acreage, what would it
I
entail?
mean, that could be divided up into, if they divided it up into a lot of lots, let's say 20, 30, then sewer, yes.
Okay,
If they divided it up into 3 more lots that were
20
still
acres
big,
each or
yeah, you could still get by with a septic system. But you would have to rezone it, so it can't stay ag, once you do a major. Majors can't be ag,
so they rezone it to,
whatever their purpose is.
what if it were for housing?
So
What
if
if it
they, so
were
if they want
for a
houses,
20 acre?
they would have to rezone it to R1. They want single family homes.
And then no animals.
Correct.
Okay,
No farm animals. It's like any R1 that you and I are living in
okay,
town.
well,
Yeah.
okay,
Cause the idea of a major is that you're trying to develop for a lot of homes, which would be R1, or you're doing it for commercial reasons.
it sounds to me like this large portion may well stay in the farm ground.
I think that's
That's
so
not
maybe
like
some
a-
of the reasons that we have our,
Well, to move this
Our
along, I
rules
have
the way
no
we have
problem with
them.
the again, family subdivision stand. I don't even.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the subdivision. as
I'll
presented.
second.
Motion by Stan, seconded by Doug.
so did you get the acreage
Yep,
on these then?
subdivision.
We didn't figure them out. 19.2.
So the lot 1 is 6.3.
6.3. What's up, 90,
Lot 2 is 13.6.
and then the 99,
And so the big one is.
99.2 here. That's okay, now I got it, okay. I didn't find the numbers.
Yeah, I mean, you can do a major about anywhere. but-
Yeah, I was trying to think in my head that required public sewer.
Well, if
I-
it
yeah,
were
I
small
thought-
enough, it
If
would.
the lots get small enough.
I didn't think it mattered once it became a major subdivision.
Well, I'll double check that.
Obviously,
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute for
So
me
I'll-
too,
I'll-
Mark.
I'll
but
double-
a minute or
I will
two.
double check it because you're making me
Animals
think.
go away, then they're-
You're making me question myself, so I will double check it. Have a good answer for
Yeah,
you.
okay. What do we got here?
This is the Freak subdivision. They are breaking off a piece so that their son can build.
Good.
So this is an 11-acre piece that we're dealing with. They're taking this lot 1 out of it,
2 acres. Only.
and they have from 200 east is egress easement, so you can get to it. And so you can also get to the.
What south is this?
The old railroad.
This is right beside, this is the,
10.2.
All solid waste?
yes, that's solid waste.
Okay.
So there are 2 lots, 2 and
Make Mickey
10.2.
free.
Yes.
Mickey.
Yeah, 33 is just right up here.
Right. So what we're approving is this 11.78.
Yeah, this whole 11 acres, he's breaking off, so it'll be 10.2 left. And this lot 1, which is only 2 acres, is gonna go to his son, which is
Okay,
basically right.
that's where the house is gonna be. What is this? Is this farm ground right now, or what is this?
I think
Or what is
Looks
this?
like
What's
looks
this?
like a building site there, doesn't it?
the building here, I don't think anybody lives there. I think Mickey lives here. He owns several things there.
Yeah, these angles threw me off.
Yeah, it's funky.
Yeah.
200 east,
Yeah, well, the
33.
railroad calls us.
Yeah. the
Yes,
railroad, yeah, the
yes.
railroad.
That's how they're getting access
Okay, we better wait for Stan here.
from that railroad.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a relative that put that back there a while ago. It was like a tractor sitting in it, a bush hog.
Yeah,
Against the
Yeah.
firing range.
yeah, yeah.
So that's all it
You have
is.
any problem
Okay.
with the Freed subdivision, Stan?
No, did you make a motion or?
I
you make
did.
a Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion by Stan, seconded by Doug, Freed subdivision is approved.
Wonder how Allen County does this. Cause they got so much land up there, they probably.
Tell you what, they're not as far along with some of the stuff as we are.
I don't know. It's gotta be
I'm actually
the
supposed to
biggest
go up
county in
and-
the state. in land
Giving
area.
some advice.
Yeah, it was scheduled about a month ago and they
They're,
pushed
they're
it back.
learning from us, aren't they?
Maybe you can
Well,
go
there's
talk
some
to.
stuff going on. up there that
Sometimes you
they
gotta
have
learn the
not-
hard way.
Hey, Mark, maybe you can tell them not to put that stone quarry right next to my neighborhood too.
I didn't know about that.
I saw the
That's gonna be,
brouhaha over that.
yeah,
Where's the stone quarry?
You out there
I don't know where your
protesting that?
neighborhood is.
I'm gonna have to.
The Stone Quarry, the casino and the data center.
It's out southwest, Mark.
Data center.
What
kind of data do you need from us?
Oh, you got another one. He's got another one for us.
I am not done.
I thought we were done.
Sorry, we got three. Maybe this is the easiest one, I don't know.
Oh, pardon you.
So this square turned into two lots. It is just north of 224, as you can see. Actually, I think Shane Ruggerweg lives here.
Oh, yeah,
Or used
okay.
to, I don't know if he still does. This is broke off because the house is separated now from this large building. You'll see that it's only 1 acre, but it does have access to sewer.
Okay.
That's why
Oh,
it
so
can
they
be
can
1.
do it, one- if it's got sewer, they can do it on one.
I can go down to 1.
That's an advantage of the sewer district.
Yes, this is.
I see no problem, Stan, I
Yeah,
approve it, we approve it, so, or go ahead. or either
Motion
one.
by Stan, seconded by Doug. Marco Development Subdivisions approved.
Yeah, it's out
Oh, sorry.
southwest.
I didn't mean to
So
jump
I'm
in
out.
here.
You're good, Stan.
Ford Homestead is, that's where Ollie's Pizza is. So you go south, come Homestead,
That's
Prairie
me,
Meadows,
if you
which is just right there south of Homestead.
I need to take a little more time.
Going up. There's all that farm.
My signature's not legible most of the
Railroad
time.
tracks and IU. Developer bought that.
Hey, anything else for us, Mark?
Stone quarry, asphalt factory,
all I got.
concrete factory.
Concrete. Thank you.
So yes.
We're gonna start here with blasting.
Takes care of that, takes care of that.
Did a big-
Clayton, what have you got for us this morning?
First would be, what ordinance number is that? 2026-2. Previously, you guys voted to introduce it. It would be again short titled, an ordinance of Adams County, Indiana to regulate the commercial use of public records obtained from electronic data storage centers, systems, excuse me. Again, it's just precluding the commercial use of information obtained through APRA or FOIA requests. So unless you guys have any further questions, I just ask for a motion for adoption, then you all can sign that.
A motion that, we adopt.
Second. Okay, motion,
The
2026-2 is adopted.
only other thing would be, as you all know, there's really just one final kind of property owner out there, at Country Acres that's not signed an abatement agreement related to the nuisances out on those properties. This final property owner owns multiple properties. Also the only property owner that took the abatement agreement I proposed and said, well, actually, I would like these revisions. So I think I at least sent the information to you all, his proposed revisions, and wanted to briefly discuss today. I kind of go through, I think as my email stated, it'd be my recommendation that as to the legal terms of the agreement, it's sadly a no. We are not amenable to any changes there. But more for a discussion on, I think that property owner's concern is now that, this would give him a hard deadline where he has a lot more big ticket items to take care of. But that's a decision that I completely leave up to you all, as to whether you give him a little bit more time, as long as it's an agreed upon schedule, or if it's again, July of 2026. Otherwise, again, if communications are gonna break down and we're not gonna get this agreement signed, then I need to, within a week or so, get the enforcement actions filed and go that route.
Well, I've been through a couple of these before on BCA. And there've been a couple experiences in the past that after the extension is given, there's another extension requested, and then another extension requested, another extension requested. Okay, and so I have a tendency to be a little bit hardline on this and say, let's get it done. That's my feeling.
I recommend that he either signs the abatement as you presented, or I would go back to the original terms of the nuisance complaint. He was well aware of what the property was when he bought it.
And that, again, that's perfectly fine with me. I just wanted you all's authority that I can kind of take that back to him of the abatement agreement I prepared kind of as is, or nothing at all, and I'll get the enforcement
Do
actions.
we need to take some action on this? For the record?
No, I think,
Okay.
no, it's not.
You
it's not one of
know,
those.
had he bought unaware of a situation, but he was well aware of what that situation was when he bought it.
It's not to say also how, you know, all those property owners have been aware for some time. Because, you know, the enforcement actions or these abatement agreements I've been sending out are not the first time. You know, they did receive notices from the sheriff. You know,
But I think the abatements that you have offered is just a good faith effort to give them time once they became aware of the filing of the nuisance ordinance. And I think, you know, that generally is our way of trying to work with them time-wise and enforcement-wise. And so hopefully, you know, by us, hopefully he'll sign the abatement form as you presented it. And communication.
And honestly, I guess in my mind, if we saw progress, good progress, and just didn't quite get done by what's the deadline?
July.
By July, you know, then let's talk about that again, but.
So he doesn't think he can even get cleaned up by July.
I think the proposed schedule, and again, it is multiple properties, but the proposed schedule ended up lapsing all the way to like 2027.
Yeah.
So, and I mean,
Yeah, well, see, my feeling is we gotta have an end goal somewhere. Because this isn't something that just popped up 3 or 4 years ago. This has been an issue for years and years, and I think we need to have that end zone totally identified.
yep, agreed.
Thanks again for your work.
Yeah.
I don't have anything further than.
Okay. Ian, you're here. You have something for the good of the cause?
To turn to Shannon, excuse me, I don't know if you want to speak, Shannon, and I can, or you want to piggyback off of each other? How do you want to do this? Okay.
Tag teams, I'm not sure that's fair.
Mess with it, Dan.
He does.
Nobody asked.
He does.
You don't
He
ask.
does to that.
You should see some of the pictures he put on my phone the last time I left home. So, we have a conference opportunity for our Resilience Corps team. That is a national conference that's held every year. It's called All Rise, and it's a drug and treatment corps conference. Over 10,000 people attend it. Every year it's at a different location. Last year, Judge Conrad and I went to it. It was in Orlando. You get a lot of continuing ed credits there while you're there, and just a variety of new information that we learn. This year, the conference is in Nashville, and it's being held at the Gaylord Opryland Resort. The group rate that goes out today at 1 p.m., this thing sells out in a hurry, is $255.85 a night. That's over our county per diem limit. For 4 of us to go to this conference, it's $4,093.60 just for lodging. Now, we have grant funding to pay for this conference. I did some digging, and you can get a 4-bedroom, 4-bath Airbnb within 10 minutes of the conference for $364.50 a night for the whole entire place. So That's $91.13 a person, well below our county per diem. So the grand total for the Airbnb is $1,458. That's a savings of $2,635.60 versus the hotel. Now, if we have to stay in the hotel, there will not be four of us going to that conference. We simply can't afford it. We couldn't even pay for the rooms, let alone the conference registration and everything else that goes along with it. And so the county doesn't have a policy on whether or not we can stay in an Airbnb. I know Judge Conrad had reached out to Shannon. And so I guess I'm just getting your approval or opinion if that is the case that we could. I know Shannon has some concerns. And so, that's why we're here.
First question. It sounds like a great plan. Appreciate you reaching out, trying to save money here. First of all, how long is this Airbnb gonna be available, even if we go through the paperwork here?
Well, I mean, it's in Nashville, Tennessee, and Nashville has a lot of Airbnbs available. This is just one that I found as a comparison.
Okay.
If this would be booked, it's during the week, so it's not as popular to be booked, but others could be looked at if it would get booked before we were able to get the approval to move.
So what, Shannon, from your seat, what needs to be done here?
I mean, like Ian said, there is no policy right now that says specifically that this is allowed or not allowed. And Judge Conrad did reach out, and I did talk to Ian about this last year as well. I have a lot of hesitations about this approach, even though it would be cost effective to the county. I 100% agree with that. For a number of reasons. I think that there is less flexibility overall. I think that you run into issues related to parking. I think you run into all kinds of issues with like flexibility and security in general. But my biggest concern is that we have people who are not related sharing a private living space for a number of days that are employees. And I just don't believe that it's worth the additional liability or risk that's associated with that. And it did come up in my HR group across the state last year, and every single HR person responded and said, absolutely not. So this is not just my opinion necessarily. This is the opinions of HR folks around the state as well, but that's how I feel.
How would it be different if we went to a hotel and Doug and I agreed to share a room?
I would discourage that, honestly. Like, I would strongly discourage that because, again, you have employees who might be unrelated. And I did mention to Ian too, if you've got people who are spouses or siblings or whatever, that may be a little different. But, employees, in my professional opinion, should not be sharing private living spaces and all that entails for the purpose of business. But
So if we denied your request or idea, how many would you take? Two of your people?
Possibly, I'd have to.
Just
look at
you
the-
and another person, or you and two others?
That'd be myself and one other person if that's the route we went.
At first I was all for the Airbnb after listening to Shannon.
Stan, what are your thoughts? It's a little out there, but
I guess you've got 4 separate bedrooms, 4 separate bathrooms. Are all the people going men?
No.
Today's rule, that's okay.
There goes that thought, Stan.
what? This is, yeah.
My feeling, Steve, to make a long
That
story
question
short,
should stop.
my feeling is.
Is the attorney getting ready to kick me under the table?
That's my
Don't
feeling.
say what you're thinking, Steve.
Yeah.
That's my feeling.
What's that? Say again, Doug?
I say take 2 people. Use the hotel or
Yeah,
motel.
I unfortunately, Ian, I've got to follow the lead of my HR director. We pay her to keep us out of the ditches on this stuff, and
Sheriff,
it would not have been, I'd have said go for it in a minute, but she keeps us out of trouble here.
I'm just inquiring, I understand a lot more being mixed sexes going, but the same sex, would your opinion be the same?
Back in the day, I used to ask employees to share a room and really not think a lot about it, but that was 20 years ago.
yeah. And when she mentioned, this isn't my opinion, your association or whatever was unanimously, absolutely not. That pretty well turned it for me.
You start to run a risk too then of identifying certain discriminatory practices if you do it that way.
But, okay, what if it's one person going? Are you okay if the price is better
With,
than
with an
hotel?
Airbnb versus a hotel?
Yes.
I say a
Are you
lodging
okay with
is
that,
lodging.
Shannon?
Okay,
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
If it's a single
One
occupancy
person.
situation where, you know, an individual person has complete control over their security, flexibility, space, et cetera, then yeah, I would be okay with it. I would caution anybody away from the spaces that are inside somebody else's home, because I think that that runs an additional risk for our employees from a
Sure.
safety perspective that
Sure.
we don't want.
Yeah.
But if Airbnb is more cost effective and like an apartment, for example, then yeah, absolutely. Let's see if that's doable as
the reason I
well.
asked that, I know I've hosted training and our hotel accommodations here aren't the best, and I know officers that stayed in Airbnb, but they were by themselves, so I just wanna make sure it's not so much Airbnb is off limits, it's multiple people staying there.
So we probably need to maybe look at our policy and see if we could make a statement that says that we don't,
More.
we
more than
don't
one.
encourage more than one employee to share a,
Room or.
yeah.
Well,
lodging.
you know,
Lodging
here's
accommodations.
the thing we get into. You know, if we were a private business, this would be easy.
Yeah.
But being a governmental county government, it's just a whole different ballgame, a lot of issues. So for the record, for the sake of time, I don't know if it needs to be on the record. Okay, I would move in that you take 2 people, register at your hotel and go that route. That's my motion.
Might be able to find cheaper hotel than Opryland. I mean, I was just down in Nashville and I know it's expensive.
The non-group rate is $450 for rooms, in and around Opryland. So, yeah.
I'm not sure, is a motion needed? Because that's commissioners don't have to approve
Well,
lodging.
then for the if it's not a motion, at least for the record,
Yeah, that's fine.
I just want to clarify.
we gotta make a decision.
So what I hear
here.
you saying is that if I find an Airbnb that's, say, in an apartment complex that has room rates at a similar amount, and they're single occupancy, they have a kitchen, et cetera, which would save more money, potentially, you would be okay as long as it's single occupancy of employees.
I think the objection that I heard is the multiple employees sharing one single residential or lodging facility. So if you can do Airbnbs, everybody does their own Airbnb and get in under your, under the limit, we're good.
Yeah, I would agree. Yes, it's the single occupancy that's the key for me, regardless of what that looks
Oh,
like.
so you've got an option out there.
Sure.
Just communicate with Shannon that if she's in total agreement with your option, because we trust her.
And Shannon, I think it's fair that we try and look at the policy and see if there's some language we can put in there to reflect that concern.
So I withdraw my motion if there was such a thing.
I'll just put that it was what you guys discussed and what you thought and so forth.
Okay?
Sounds good.
Ian?
Sorry, Ian, that, a
Yeah.
great idea. I'd have done that in a heartbeat, but
Nothing simple.
yeah.
And what a loss.
Sometimes the practical, logical thing doesn't make it right.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, Shannon, thank you.
Thanks for the advice.
That's what we pay for.
Yeah.
Tell us no when we're not being right.
So is it, otherwise I'm up?
You're up.
Okay.
You're up.
So just real quick, so just as an update on what Sheriff mentioned, 457B, just to officially say it out loud, I ran the numbers from July of last year prior to the increase in match, and we were at 76% enrollment. And as of today, we're at 91% enrollment. So
Wow, you were hoping to get to 90, I know
yes, I
that.
was hoping to get to 90, so we're sitting there, and we're hoping to get a couple more pulled back on that are
Good.
not on right now,
Good.
so. And then just an update on the Northwind spend. I heard you guys talk about that just a smidge this morning. So I had a really good meeting with Northwind last Friday to talk about the plan and review the plan and some of our different options. And to date, the plan has invested $141,000 into pharmacy. And then for that exact same time frame, minus one major drug that I know is no longer being filled, With 2025, we were at 172.
Okay.
So we have already realized some savings, and I know that there's caveats in there, you know, people got things filled in December, so on and so forth, but we are seeing the numbers come down. And then the thing that I need approved today, as long as you guys are okay with it, is I have the summary plan descriptions for the plan for 2026, and as well as the summary of benefits of coverage for 2026 as well. There's one for Three Rivers and there's one for Parkview. Jody and I have reviewed them. We're both okay with them. There's been adjustments made, which is why it's March and we're just now getting them to you. So I did print one in full, if you'd like to look at it first. This is the document that controls the insurance and what's covered and what's not. So we sign these every year if there's changes. So I'm happy to give it to you, email it to you if you would like to look at it, but otherwise I would need them to be signed.
Give me the short description for the minutes of what this is again.
It's the 2026 summary plan description,
2026.
SPD.
So you guys want to take a week and look at it, or are you good with
I'm
something
okay
today?
with approving.
I am too.
Okay, a motion from somebody? Okay, motion from Stan, seconded by Doug. We're gonna approve those today.
I'll just have you sign them afterwards if that's okay. Okay, that's all I have.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Anything else for the good of the cause? And we're gonna have a quick discussion on the building project, but
Move we adjourn.
Well,
Stan, you wanna give us a quick update on kind of where we're at, if you don't
Sorry,
mind
okay.
on
I guess
And-
you did
and-
mention
Eric-
that. don't I?
Eric-
All right. Go ahead, Stan.
Eric and Kate, this is kind of an update on where we're at with the service complex and the court movements and whatnot. So Stan, I, if you don't mind.
Well, what we've done for the past several months is, focus our judicial center project on using the annex building, for Superior Court and probation, community corrections, and the prosecutor. And so as of last week, we had asked Elevatus to do a study for us, a function study, facility study, and also a price study. And so when they came back last week and brought estimated pricing for us, it probably was higher, or I shouldn't say probably, it was higher than what we anticipated. So at this time, we're still looking at all the options to provide a safe and efficient judicial center.
I know from my perspective, it was significantly higher than I was hoping to move those into this facility. So in my personal opinion, I'm kind of looking for another alternative.
And
Gonna give the figure what it was.
It was,
mid-20s.
yeah, to 20-ish million plus.
Oh, over the whole, I see. 20 million.
And I had personally kind of in my own thought, okay, if it comes in here, I'd be willing to pursue. If it comes in the plus, I wasn't. And I did what Steve said. It came in significantly higher than what I would be willing to support.
So we've been working with some of the people from Elevatus, Dave Scholl and Tony Bly and Caleb Study. And they've all been working on this project basically for the last 2 years. And so they have accomplished everything that we have asked them to accomplish so that we could make good decisions. And so I very much appreciate their work and appreciate their cooperation in moving through this. So, but, you know, we will continue on to pursue the project.
Feels like it's kind of a process of elimination. We look at one option, it's like, okay, that one will work or it won't work, and well, we're moving on to the next option, and I think we're we're looking at alternatives now, whether it be proposed additional facility here or something out at the jail site, which we know we already own. So I think we're just continuing to look at options, but I know there was a lot of concern about the possibility of losing the gymnasium space here and whatnot. And I know from my personal perspective, when we saw that quote, it was like, oh, I don't know that I want to invest that kind of money into a facility that's this old. So I know in my mind, I'm like, let's look at another option.
All right, and my take is simply this. The commissioner's job is to identify a location and tell the council what we feel is needed. The council's job is to fund what we're recommending. And if they're willing to fund more than the basic needs, great, we can do some extra things. But my feeling is our responsibility is name a location. We've kicked this around long enough, as Stan mentioned, and the elevator staff has been more than courteous in coming back, going to their home office and putting all the work into drawings and estimates and all of that. And I feel as commissioners, we need to be rather quickly in doing our job.
So I think that was, thanks, Stan. I know we owed a kind of an update to the public, an update and hopefully you all can craft that into something that feels like an update that's, even though we don't know where we're going, we kind of are thinking now where we're not going.
As soon as we have updates, we'll make them public.
Yeah,
Sure.
absolutely.
Otherwise, continue to read the Decatur discussion board.
Or not.
Let's not do that.
Anything else? Doug, Stan?
No, it's enough on that
Anything
for
else?
now.
Okay, I don't believe I have anything. If not, we're looking to adjourn.
Second.
Okay,